My name is Christina Stone Kaiser. I am cooking today from the Forks Over Knives Winter 2020 magazine. So exciting. And we are doing stir fry. So there's a whole section in the magazine on stir fry. I am doing the 5 Chinese spice stir fry this week. And it's just a ton of fun. And actually, this video is more going to be a how do you prep to make the stir fry? Because I do a lot of prep when everybody leaves the house so that all my chopping and sometimes the hot stuff is done. But this one is not a casserole, right? When you are working, and it's not a soup, when you're working stir fries, you want those vegetables hot and fresh and really just fork tender. You don't want them to get soggy. So time is of the essence. So I'm really just prepping for later on today, and I've chosen a specific day where I know the kids don't have after school activities, which will mean that I can put it all together and then throw it on the table. But not if I had to prep it all. And there's a lot. Like somebody once told me oh, making stir fry is really easy. Maybe for one person, but I make a double batch of everything. There's a lot of chopping. So first, the sauce. So this sauce has 4 teaspoons of soy sauce, in my case a coconut amino, because that makes it gluten-free. It has 2 teaspoons of cane sugar, a teaspoon of ginger, a teaspoon of 5-spice powder, which I actually made kind of my own because I don't want to buy a whole jar for a teaspoon. So in my coffee grinder, I took a little bit of star anise and a clove, and that went and then I just poured in some pepper and some cinnamon. But you could also grind your cinnamon and your peppercorn if you wanted to get a teaspoon of that. Let me make sure that I've told you all the ingredients. Oh yes, a teaspoon of lime juice and then 3/4 cup of water. And so that, and then you need your thickener. So this one has 2 teaspoons of arrowroot powder. And arrowroot powder works a lot like cornstarch. So it'll kind of have this it'll be hard to move it in the liquid at first, and then it just gives way. But that's going to thicken your sauce. And if you don't have arrowroot powder, cornstarch is great, or some sort of flour, potato starch, something like that. So that's your sauce. And that will, actually, when does that go in? So you've mixed your sauce. You're going to stir fry all your vegetables, and your sauce is going to go in the last couple of minutes, and just for 1 to 2 minutes while it thickens. Another thing that I've prepped ahead of time, so their recipe calls for quinoa because they're changing up the grains. I have a black rice because I love black rice. And so the thing here is when you're working black rice, I use the brown rice on my rice cooker, double the amount of water as what the rice cookers recommend because it's going to absorb a lot and it would be really crunchy still after the fact. And then there's your veggies, and there's so many veggies. So and I had to cover it because there are shallots, and shallots make me cry. In fact, this is how I cut my shallots today because I cry so bad when I'm cutting shallots. I don't cry when I'm cutting onions. I can handle it. But shallots, oh my gosh, they're horrible. So this is how I cut my shallots, and I only cried a little bit that way. But it's 2.5 cups of cauliflower, so I've kind of got a bite-sized version of cauliflower. Your shallots are just sliced, and they'll kind of fall apart. And you could just use onion if you don't want to go through it. But it's a 1/2 cup of shallot, I think. And then 2 garlic cloves minced. So that's all in there. And that will be the first thing that you cook for 5 minutes because that cauliflower needs the most time to kind of get soft. And you're going to steam fry it. So you're going to use that water in the pot to get it all steamed. Then we have a cup of snap peas, which I have halved. It doesn't call for you to do anything with them, but I halved them. It was supposed to be baby bok choy. I didn't buy any, so I have green beans. So I did a cup of green beans. I just kind of cut them into thirds. And then a yellow pepper. So I have a yellow and an orange pepper in mine. And I just cut those into roughly maybe 1.5 inch strips. So it'll be 4 minutes to 5 minutes. Probably because I'm making these bigger batches, I'm making a double batch. Maybe 7 minutes, and then these will go in for a couple minutes, and then at the very end you go ahead and add that sauce for a couple minutes. So your total cooking time probably 10 minutes, and you're going to want to cook while stirring it the whole time. Don't walk away from it. Don't trust it because you want to keep it going and not have it get too soggy. And then the end, once you've got it all in your bowl with your rice, your quinoa, whatever you're going to use, and your veggies, top it with a little bit of onion, and you are good to go. You get something that looks along the lines of a beautiful bowl. And mine's gonna have black on the bottom, right? And I'm gonna have some yellow and some orange. And that's kind of the beauty of it. If you have red peppers but not yellow or orange, like, it doesn't really matter, right? And if you didn't have the baby bok choy but you had something else, just swap it out or add extra of another. It doesn't matter. That's the beauty. So that is how to prep for the 5-spice Chinese stir fry. Enjoy. I think it's going to be super tasty. I think that 5-spice is going to add a very different kind of a pop, unexpected to it. So have a great time, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.